Hi y'all. I just wanted to do a quick, imperfect little video about prison pen paling because I have a lot of conversations with people about that, and I just thought maybe to have it as a reference that you can pull up would be convenient. So we'll see how that goes. Probably the number one question I get is, how do I even go about finding a prison pen pal? And there are so many organizations out there that will help you with that. I pen pal through the Justice Art Coalition. They have a program called, I think it's just called Partner. And Black and Pink is another great one. But if you do a Google search, you'll definitely pull up lots of results. If you know somebody who currently corresponds with someone incarcerated, you can ask them to ask their person if they know anybody who would like to, either start a pen pal relationship or just get some mail on the odd occasion. So, important things to keep in mind. This part is all logistics, but every single facility has different rules. Every single time an incarcerated person moves, there may be different rules as far as what they're able to receive. But generally, no glue, no stickers, nothing stuck inside the packages like stickers or, fake tattoos or whatever you might throw into a normal envelope. Just remember that all these things get searched. So it goes to the prison mail room where it's inspected for a lot of different things, like sometimes they're read if the person has a current case open, or if the person is under suspicion of other cases, or if for whatever reason. I think they just do spot checks. So I always recommend not doodling little images either, anything that isn't super clear. For people who used to write me in prison when I was inside, you probably met me through my blog, and Ra Avis blog has a pretty distinct symbol. It's a heart with 3 little triangles coming out of the side. It's a dinosaur heart. But because of the prevalence of that doodling inside my letters, it got added to my jail file as a possible gang-related symbol. So it didn't affect my case in any way, shape, or form, and it didn't affect me. But if someone was inside on charges where that sort of thing would be relevant, it could be a little damaging for no reason. So that's something to keep in mind. Along the lines of searching, don't be like cryptic or antagonistic, all cops are bastards type of thing. Maybe not, cops are definitely going to read it. So just keep it clean and friendly, especially in the beginning before you know the person. And always, if you have the resources, include a couple blank sheets of paper and a couple stamps. Those things aren't free inside, and it's always nice to include them without the expectation that they be used to write you back, just because inside that's currency. And I think it's beneficial to give people the freedom of that kind of, it's not a lot of financial freedom, but giving them the gift of that trust, like, this is for you to use wherever you need to use it, however you need to use it, is a kind thing. So, and I know that when people are pen paling, they love replies, but not everyone is going to be in a position to be able to do that. I can't speak for all facilities. Obviously, I was only in the ones I was in, but in the ones I was in California, there was also a high level of illiteracy. So keep that in mind when writing your letters. Try to be as legible and clear as possible before, if you don't know the reading level of the person you're corresponding with, because they could have to, painstakingly read the words or actually have somebody else read it to them. So just something to keep in mind. And all that stuff you should be able to find from their websites. Each prison has its own website, and each state has its own rules, and just try to follow them as much as possible. Kind of be gracious to yourself in the process too. It's pretty hit or miss. Sometimes letters will come back, and it's because you used a colored pencil and this facility doesn't allow that, or because crayon and this facility doesn't allow that. My little feet, my little ones in my life who mailed me things when I was inside would send me pictures, and a lot of times they would come back because of the crayon or glue stick or anything else like that. So just be patient with the process. The person inside has very little control over any of that. Well, not even, the person inside has no control over any of that. So try not to put your frustrations on them. It's frustrating enough to know that people are sending you things and you're not getting them. So those are all, I think, the logistic type things. But I do think that usually when people ask me about pen paling, it's the emotional side that they're worried about. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to send. They don't know what to talk about. They don't know what will accidentally be a trigger or hurtful. And I guess the best thing I can say to that is just pretend you're at like a very large event where everybody in there is connected by one barely interesting factor, like a city tree lighting party, and pretty much you're there if you live in a vague vicinity of that tree lighting. It doesn't mean anything else. It doesn't mean that you are a Christian celebrating Christmas. It doesn't mean that you live very, very close or that you participate in city events. It doesn't mean anything. All it means is that you ended up at this thing. And if you met someone there who you decided seemed like someone you wanted to correspond with, talk to, be friends with, how would that conversation go? And that's pretty much the information you'd want to start your letter with. You want to say things like, small talk that could open doors. And then you just pay attention to the replies and figure out what doors they want to walk through and what doors they prefer to keep closed, So great openings are things like your name. So when I pen pal with people inside who don't know me, I say things like, "Hi, my name is Ra. I live in Long Beach, California, and I just wanted to send you this letter in hopes that it brightens your day a little bit, and I'm including some paper and stamps for you to use however you want, and if you do want to reply to me, my address is," always repeat your address on the first letter. That's a logistic thing, but oftentimes in the searching, the address in the top right corner gets damaged, so it's hard to read. So go ahead and repeat it, and then just bring up a couple random things. Like I like to tell people that I'm a summer person. I like the neon colors of the fashion season. I like the sun. I'm like a lizard. I could just go out and sit in direct sunlight for a long time. And lately the heat has been kind of rough on me because of weird hormone stuff and getting older, and I just had a birthday. I'm 36. My mint plant is doing really, really well. I read a cool book about hardware trivia. So you just kind of verbally throw all these things out in the letter, not to an erratic point, but maybe 6 or 7 talking points. And when that person replies and they say, "Oh, I love mint, I love gardening," like that's the door they chose. So go down that door. And the reason for this, especially for people incarcerated, is that when you're inside, you're having a singular experience, partially because of the isolation and partially because there are so many different factors that affect your structure of life inside. And for some people, they're very interested in hearing what's going on in the outside world. They want to be as much a part of that as possible. And for others, that's just hard time. They don't want to think about things like that. They want to think about lights, other stuff. You can ask. You can say, "Is there anything specific I could send you that would be extra valuable to you?" Like if you had to pick between a crossword puzzle or quotes or just a personal anecdote of something that happened, what would you choose? All of those things work out So I think, I know it can be scary. I know it can be scary to start a conversation with someone you don't know, and even scarier when you have to like put it down to paper. But I think it's so important to remember that this is something significant that you can do. This is something that changes the structure of somebody's life. When you're inside, the influences you have are so limited from all aspects. The fabric you see, the colors you see, the books you have access to, the art, if any, that you have access to. It's isolation to a degree that most people can't even fathom. Because of my pen pals, I was able to receive postcards with art on them, and I had them in my room, my cell, but it made it a room. You know, it made it a place that looked like me, a place where I woke up and the world that I loved was reflected back. And even more, I mean, because of my pen pals, I got the color purple back. You know, I was inside and it had been a year since I had seen, you know, the color purple and all the shades of it. And when I realized I hadn't, you know, I got these postcards and letters with just the color. You know, you can give someone back purple. You can give someone back starry night. You can give someone back all the different things that you want to have access to, little factoids. You know how when you're walking around and you think, oh, I wonder where this came from. I wonder where this word began. I wonder anything. You know, when I was at Chowchilla, upstate, the girls inside used to say that the word Chowchilla was a native word for beautiful sky, and it was a beautiful sky. You could believe it. Being upstate, you're in prison, you're standing in a long line holding your mug with your spoon inside of it so you can walk to the chow hall. Sand everywhere, jackrabbits running around. And the sky just looks like someone put this blue bowl over everything. It's amazing. It's amazing. That said, Chowchilla absolutely does not mean that. and for someone like me, you know, those things just like stick in your head. And you want to know the truth. You want to know the actual thing, but you don't have the internet. You don't have updated dictionaries. Sometimes you don't have books at all. So the things that people are able to send you can really just alleviate the little things in your mind. You know, they can give you new things to talk about, new things to think about. You can give someone different dreams. And though there's no data to this, I do believe that you have a different experience inside when you're receiving letters fairly regularly. I think it's harder for people who might be inclined towards abuse to believe you to be alone when you're receiving letters all the time. It's sort of a shield. And it can act as a shield. Like if something is going wrong, you can report it to that person that you're pen paling with. And of course, letters are searched. It may not come through, but it is something, it gives you a sense of being able to do something for yourself. And that's a gift. Speaking of the colors and the art, postcards are a great way to start. You don't have to go into a deep, long letter. You can just even send a little postcard and see if they're interested in further correspondence. You can, from the USPS, they sell these postcards that are blank on the front, and you can draw any picture you want. Those are great. Once you get to know the person, if you start a pen paling relationship, consider sending them from the post office, you know, a pack of letters, envelopes or stamps or things like that. But really, it doesn't have to be as scary. I guess that's the ultimate message. It doesn't have to be as scary as we make it out to be. It is going to be complicated because you're working through a bureaucratic system that doesn't really care about the people inside. and you can't really do anything about that part. But you can care, and you can risk a little bit of that awkward small talk feeling in order to get to the point where you meet someone whose life you can really be a part of in a meaningful way. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about this sort of thing, please just reach out. If you are local or not local, you can even use my P.O. box if that's convenient for you. I'll open the letters. Sorry, I live on a city street. I'll open the letters up and scan them to you if that makes it easier. Whatever makes it easy, please do it. And even if you don't intend to start a long-term pen paling relationship, just sending out postcards to people who could use them, it's a good thing to do. Thank you for even considering it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a lot of luck with finding someone on the inside who you can bring a little bit of your outside to. Bye.